Take a moment to look at your own nose, a perfectly fine piece of anatomy for drawing in air. It keeps you breathing, but when it comes to truly experiencing reality, it is woefully inadequate. Picture our typical sunny walk down the sidewalk when we suddenly cross paths with another dog. Instead of offering a polite nod from a distance, I immediately plunge my nose into the stranger's hindquarters. Right on cue, you tighten the leash and start awkwardly apologizing to the other human for my behavior. You think I am just being crude, but you are entirely missing the profound interaction taking place. This is not a lapse in manners or some unrefined canine habit that you need to be ashamed of. It is a highly sophisticated, instinctual method for gathering undeniable biological truths about the world. While you navigate social encounters relying on easily manipulated words, forced small talk, and superficial smiles, I am busy reading the raw, unfiltered biochemical reality of exactly who is standing in front of me. I do not need them to tell me how their day is going at all. Their biology has already given me the complete, unvarnished answer without a single word spoken. Let us step back in time, long before we were walking on paved sidewalks or sleeping on plush dog beds. Out in the unforgiving wild, survival depended entirely on the strength and cooperation of the pack. But bringing a group of highly capable carnivorous predators together is a delicate and dangerous balance. If every single encounter with an unknown canine required a physical fight to establish dominance, my ancestors would have torn each other apart long before they ever got to hunt together. The cost of a physical injury in the wild is simply too high for a predator to survive. A broken leg or a deep bite wound often meant slow starvation out in the elements. Nature needed a peaceful, foolproof way for us to exchange vital information without risking our lives. This biological handshake evolved over thousands of years as the ultimate diplomatic solution for our species. By simply inhaling a concentrated scent profile, wolves and wild dogs could instantly recognize family members. They could identify potential mates without costly courtship displays and detect sickness without baring a single tooth. It was an elegant evolutionary protocol designed to maintain social order and prevent unnecessary, deadly violence. You might shake hands, observe facial expressions, or exchange credentials to learn something about a stranger. My species evolved to share a complete, undeniable biochemical resume instantly and with absolute precision. To truly understand how this works, we need to examine the source of this dense biological information. Right inside the lower digestive tract, positioned on either side of the rectum, are two small structures. These are remarkably powerful structures known to science and veterinarians as the canine anal sacs. You might only know about them when they get blocked, causing me to scoot across your favorite rug. That usually requires an unpleasant trip to the vet, but biologically, they are essential communication hubs. These glands act as concentrated chemical reservoirs, continuously secreting a highly unique and pungent fluid. Every time a dog leaves a dropping on the grass, a small amount of this fluid is squeezed out. The surrounding muscles press it out, acting like a permanent signature stamped directly onto the environment. But when two dogs meet face to tail on the sidewalk, we go straight to the fresh, unfiltered source. This fluid is not just a foul odor to be ignored by humans. It is a rich mixture. It contains a complex mixture of chemical compounds produced by specialized apocrine and sebaceous glands. This chemical cocktail broadcasts a staggering amount of biological data that we can read instantly. When I take a deep breath near another dog's tail, I am reading their exact daily diet. From the byproducts of their digestion, I can easily determine if they scavenge or hunt for food. I can detect subtle hormonal shifts that tell me their precise stress levels and immune health. It even reveals their exact genetic identity to let me know if we are related. If they are fearful, the chemical signature shifts significantly, releasing distinct and recognizable stress hormones. If they are healthy and ready to mate, the reproductive pheromones spike to attract a partner. This is exactly why canine body language revolves so heavily around the positioning of these glands. A confident dog will hold their tail high and stiff, proudly exposing their glands to the world. This action broadcasts their clear presence and high social status to every other animal nearby. A fearful or submissive dog will tightly tuck their tail between their legs to block the scent. They are physically capping the scent release, effectively trying to hide their chemical identity from the pack. You might look at a dog and see a wagging tail or a very tense body posture. Then you try to guess how they are feeling based purely on those visual cues alone. I do not have to guess at all because the anal glands provide a profound chemical truth. This chemical reality cannot be faked or hidden behind a brave face or a wagging tail. However, simply having this dense information available in the air around us is not enough. My body needs a highly specialized way to interpret it without getting lost in environmental noise. This is the exact point where my canine anatomy truly outshines your human capabilities. While both of us use our primary nasal cavities to smell the damp, cool earth outside, or the exhaust from passing cars, and the delicious roasted chicken you cook in the kitchen, dogs possess a secondary, entirely separate olfactory system specifically built and tuned for social survival. Hidden just above the roof of my mouth, nestled behind my upper front teeth, is an organ. This is the vomeronasal organ, which is commonly called the Jacobson's organ by scientists. This remarkable piece of biology acts as a dedicated pathway specifically designed to capture heavy molecules. It isolates and decodes dense, moisture-borne molecules like pheromones with incredible speed and accuracy. It has its own set of nerves that bypass the normal smelling center of the brain entirely. When I am intensely sniffing another dog, you might sometimes notice me slightly curling my lips, or perhaps flicking my tongue, or even chattering my jaw in a very strange way. This is an active biological process where I am drawing these dense chemical messengers upward. They go up through tiny ducts behind my incisors and straight into the active Jacobson's organ. What makes this structure so incredible is the specific destination where it sends the data. The nerves from the Jacobson's organ wire directly into the amygdala and the hypothalamus regions. These are the ancient regions of the brain responsible for raw emotional responses and primal instincts. It filters out the overwhelming background smells of the street, trash cans, and blooming flowers. This process isolates pure, unfiltered chemical communication away from all other environmental odors. It is not just a regular smell. It is an immediate emotional and biological understanding. I am absorbing the other dog's fear, confidence, or sickness directly into my own nervous system. It is a profound level of empathy and sensory awareness that human biology simply cannot replicate. While you are busy judging the dog's fluffy coat or listening to their owner talk, my brain is actively translating a cascade of invisible molecules into a highly comprehensive profile. This profile details their exact physiological state so I can understand them completely. I know if they are a threat, a friend, or entirely indifferent within seconds of contact. Let us now return to that exact tense moment on the sidewalk with a stranger. You finally managed to tug the leash, apologizing profusely to the owner for my behavior. You are embarrassed by my complete lack of personal boundaries or traditional human manners. You probably think you just saved us from a highly awkward and embarrassing social faux pas. But in those 3 brief seconds, you were busy exchanging tight-lipped smiles and small talk. You spoke about the weather while I already mapped out that strange dog's biological reality. I know he had chicken for breakfast, and I know his cortisol levels are elevated today. He is secretly anxious, but I also know his immune system is otherwise perfectly healthy. The real conversation was already over, and I gathered every vital fact I needed instantly. I had all the data before you even finished saying your very first polite hello. I truly do appreciate your polite, purely visual way of navigating the social world around you.
It is incredibly endearing how you rely so heavily on polite words and social cues. You trust that a wagging tail or a friendly nod means everything is completely safe. It is a sweet way to live, even if it is, quite frankly, biologically blind. But my instinctual methods exist to protect both of us from potential danger out here. While you are hoping for a good interaction based entirely on fragile human manners, I am actively guaranteeing our safety by relying on absolute, unchangeable scientific facts. I do not have the luxury of trusting a superficial smile from a strange creature. So I choose to trust the chemistry and the biological reality of the situation instead. It really makes you wonder about your own species and how you communicate, does it not? Imagine if human beings could completely bypass the small talk, forced smiles, and polite lies. What if you could instantly sense the absolute biological truth about every single stranger you met? How entirely different and honest would your human society and relationships look right now?